Please note, pressure is a measure of the distribution of force. Now watch carefully, barefoot. From rear, foot touch down, stance phase, heel, midfoot, to toe off as your stance phase or support phase. What we're measuring here is pressure and force. But what's important to notice is barefoot, how is that force distributed? This is key. Remember, pressure is a measure of the distribution of force. Now you take a barefoot foot and you shot it and put on, in this case, a neutral shoe, an Adidas Revolution. And notice as we go from rear to fore, the little X there is your center of pressure. As it transitions from rear to fore, notice the dissipation of ground force. There's a broader area because of the shoe. But note the peaks and total force distributed up the kinetic chain, your knees, your hips, your back, etc. Again, I must preface that pressure is a measure of the distribution of force. Here we have the Hoka One One Bondi B. Now watch as the foot hits the ground, rear foot heel strike, blunt force trauma, how the force is distributed so the pressure is less, dramatically less. Now it's important to note these ground forces, the foot is coming down into the ground at heel, so that force can be very traumatic to the kinetic chain as that shock travels up the kinetic chain through the knees, the hips, etc., lower back. But it's good at the forefoot because that's propulsion. So that's upward force versus downward force. Moving into and moving away from. So this is a clear illustration of what I've been talking about. Distribution of force. Dissipation of ground force. Critical.